Alright, this is Big Boss, this Foxhound Woods Ball, coming to you from Fort Lauderdale, and today we're going to be discussing slings for your paintball guns, your 1 points, your 2 points, your 3 points. Now, this information is applicable to your paintball stuff, your airsoft stuff, and your real steel guys. Now, why do we need slings? Well, if we're having to use a pistol at times, or if we got tasks that require the use of both hands and we can't have one hand on a gun, stuff like that. It's basically a way to keep your primary gun secured to you at all times. Now, every sling's got their pros and cons, like I probably just said, and we'll get right into it. Now, this sling that I've got on right now is a single point sling from my last review, and I will say this thing is fairly a modern design. As I can show you, unhook it from the gun for a sec. Now, with this one, as you can see, it's got that nice elastic from here to here. So it's going to be like a bungee, keep the gun secure to you. It's also got that nice aircraft grade aluminum hook that is very strong, very sturdy. The particular design on this is more commonly seen on H&K style guns like your MP5s, your G3s, your 416s, stuff like that. Plus it's also got the little quick detach buckle here, so that way you can take it off you in the event of an emergency, quick ditch, stuff like that. Now, hooking it on, as you can see, get this thing hooked on my quick detach sling accessory right here. Now, as you can see, this is only 1 point of contact. It's holding, it's secure. Now, this thing is tightened to as far as it will be tightened on here, so for me, that's kind of a good thing and a bad thing because I've got long arms, so I can easily grab the gun. It's also got enough slack in it, so that way I can easily bring it up to my shoulder. I could do a weak side transition, or I can even switch over shoulders and do it like that. But with the setup like this has a little too much slack in here, so if you have to bring it out longer, or if you're in a position where you need to have a tactical stock folded, as it is with guns like your SCARs, your ACRs, or your personal paintball marker that has a folding stock, as you can see, some guys would like to use that lack of slack to make it nice and tight so that way they could have a bit more stable. But as you can see, my arms are reached out way too long in this 1 point, and holding it out like this, that creates something called muscle fatigue, and it will wear you out pretty quickly in the arms. So, all intents and purposes, this thing might as well be like this lanyard, except glorified. Now, give me 1 second as I swap out slings, and we'll continue this little review, discussion, whatever you like to call it. Alright, now we're back. Now, we're going to be discussing the 2 point sling piece. Now, I don't own any 2 point slings, so I'm using my 3 point as a substitute for this particular portion of today's video. Now, the way I've got it carrying on me right now is the same way Sean Penn had it in that movie Casualties of War. It came out in the 80s. Muzzle's down at a safe direction, but I'm still able to engage targets with it. As you can see, I can bring the gun up. The sling here creates a nice, tight, positive tension, so that way I can easily sight down the barrel and engage whatever target I have to. I can even do it for a weak shoulder transition, but because it comes off the arm, slides off the arm to allow me to get it to the shoulder position, I lose that tension. Now, as far as being on the totem pole goes with the sling setups and everything, the 2-point would be at the bottom of the barrel. It is one of the oldest sling configurations out there. It's been around since man first started carrying guns slung to them. This thing lacks versatility. You can easily have it strapped across your chest, and you can easily bring it up to certain points, but this thing is limited depending upon how much slack you have in the sling. So that makes it for a bit of good and a bit of bad depending upon how you want to look at it. Now, you can have it across the chest like this, that way easily could have it tight up like this, but we're also pretty crammed in there. And most guys, depending upon their size and everything, most shooters do not like the idea of being crammed. They don't like being overextended. You gotta find that middle area, that comfort zone. So that's why 2 points have fallen a little bit out of favor as far as being on the battlefield. They're still used today as far as like color guard, honor guard, drill, and for all guys in basic training. So that being said, the 2-point is not really feasible anymore as a good shooting sling in a real world tactical environment. Now give me 1 second as I prepare to do this final demonstration. I'll be right back. Now we're back, and now I'm using my 3-point where it was more or less designed for. I like the 3-point above the other two because it allows me a wider range of versatility. As you can see, I can easily carry it like a 1-point. I could easily, as you probably saw, but I'll do it again, I could have it strapped like a 2-point. That's because there are 3 points of contact on this particular sling system. We've got plenty of slack in here to make it easily adjustable to any body size you need it to. As you can see, I've got 1 point here, 1 point here. 2 points contact on the gun and another one on the sling. So that way it makes it easier to adjust. Now, when carrying using the 3-point, as you can see, I can easily have the gun in front of me. I can easily have it off to the side or right in back of me. Now, because of the ability to adjust your slack and for the way I've got it set up, my gun is right here. So that means I could easily bring it to my shoulder to engage a target. I could easily switch shooting shoulders, or if I have to, I can even do a weak side transition and have my right hand as my shooting hand. Plus, because of the versatility of this, I can even go a little outside the box, sling it over to the shoulder like this. So that way, as you can see, I've still got it slung in a very secure position. I could use my hands for any task that requires both hands. I could use a sidearm, or if I'm running, stuff like that. But it's still there, so you can easily bring it down, bring it back up. That's pretty much why I like a 3-point sling. You could carry it like a 1 or 2-point sling system, though it's versatile enough to do just about anything you need it to. Now, you can catch a written review on this on my blog page, outerheavenpaintball.blogspot.com. I will be posting a link in the description to this video or an annotation in this video. And with that, this is Big Boss, and I'm out of here.